Welcome back to another great episode of Comedians in Bed, where comedians can be comedians. And I don't really know what that means. But as always, we have another great guest. You know me, have to give them a good introduction. Now, he probably won't admit to this, but I did just dunk on him on Friday night. That was a good experience. It was beautiful. It was a sight to see. You guys should have saw it. I basically did Shaq when he broke the backboard. That's basically what I did on this tall Groot looking nigga right here. But he's super funny. He's super hilarious. He's taken the Columbus comedy scene by storm. And I would go as far to say he's one of the best comics we have here, which lets you know we don't really have as much talent. So give it up for your next comedian, the very funny, talented Tyson Colson, everybody.
It's been like that was a great introduction. That was an insult as well. I'm getting dunked
I
on
was
in
not.
the intro. You know what I mean. Columbus ain't that good, and that's why I'm shining.
That was not an insult. We do not have that many good comics here. The fact that he came in and he's already up there
Yeah,
lets you know
yeah.
where.
Maybe it shouldn't have been that quick. Maybe it should have took a little time. But
You brought it by the end of the year, you'll probably have about legit 3 haters. At least by year one, you'll have a legit 3 haters. Be
I
like,
already
why is
had
he
that.
getting all these opportunities?
Yeah, I already had people. People already, have told me that there's people saying stuff about you around the scene, not all great. So I'm like, oh, word, word, word.
That's what they do, man. It's so
That's
weird
all
and so.
right.
But that's just Columbus. Are you from? You're not from Columbus though, right? You're from Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So Columbus, we don't really have anything here but Ohio State. So like, if anybody becomes good at anything, like you could be the best scooter rider in Columbus, somebody's gonna hate on you for being the best.
Jenny's ice cream in Ohio State, man. That's why Columbus is nice. We got more than we had in Cleveland. I tell you that.
I actually met Jenny. She did my graduation speech at Ohio State. She is
Yeah,
thick, a
it's.
thick white woman.
I don't know why in my head I didn't think she was alive. I don't know when I see like
Nah,
places named after when
she's
places are
very
named
much.
after people, I'm just like they're gone. I think.
She's very much so alive. She's
Oh, shout out to Jenny.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's thick. She's a thick blonde woman. Like she looked like the girl from if you ever seen the movie Gone Girl, she kind of favor her a little bit.
Oh yeah. Crazy.
And she's really nice too. Like after
Yeah.
graduation, she was walking around and she told me congratulations, and I was like, thank you. And you could tell like she's just a real at least from that interaction, she seems nice. So
Well, I
I
was
ate her
down
ice
at
cream that day, and I only had it one time. That's the only time I've had it, and yeah,
it's
it's cool.
expensive. You know what I mean? I was down in Texas though. I was down in Texas in Austin, Texas. I was in a little convenience store and I saw pints of Jenny's ice cream and I was like, we've made it. I feel like a Columbus native at this point. You
Oh,
know.
she worldwide. She everywhere.
Yeah, she's everywhere. Yeah.
Dang, I
I
should
was
have got
like,
her number.
you
Damn,
should have got her number. Yeah, she has
because
money for sure.
she really thick for real. Like I was
Yeah.
like, damn, Jenny.
And she in there
Like,
selling ice cream, $37 a pint. She got money. You should have got her number, man. You messed up.
all that milk going to them hips,
All
boy.
that.
I would say Jenny's a pog. Jenny is a
It's
pog.
been a part right there. I haven't heard that term. I haven't heard that term in like 2 days since I looked it up. You know what I mean?
Man, listen, I wanna that I think the next merch I'm gonna make is gonna be a hat and like a sweatshirt that says Pog Daddy.
Pog daddy. No, you should you should absolutely make that. You should absolutely make that. And I would probably if you were selling that, I'd buy it even though I don't, you know, date along those lines currently.
I was about to say, do you even like thick women?
I like, you know what I mean? I've liked but I'm here, so
I feel like you don't like being bothered with all that.
it's too much going on, you know what I mean? I like to keep it stay on the straight and narrow.
Like you look like you'd get annoyed if she kept asking you, excuse me. Like it's just too many times. Like, excuse me, can I get by? Like,
Oh, you
damn,
gotta
bitch.
squeeze around people in the kitchen and shit. Like, come on, man. I ain't got the time for it. Yeah, I'm trying to get to where I got to get to in the house.
I actually think I'm done dating thicker women. I think I'm done.
You
I think my
said that.
time is I think my
Yeah,
time is up. I think my time is up. I've had enough. I'd rather marry them slim or skinny and then they get up thick because I get the
that's
both of
it. Yeah,
both best worlds. So
yeah. You used to
I
you
think
used
my
to
days are
love big
done.
girls, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
What
I
what
didn't
was
I
that
didn't think
decision for you?
one of them cheated on me and then the other one gave me my ring back. So I was like, I think I'm done. I think
Yeah.
that's I don't want to strike three. I'm done. I am out of here,
Yeah,
but
you got to get out of there, brother. That's like a dangerous. You're down a dangerous path right now, man.
yeah, I think we've gave like
Yeah,
bigger women like we boosted their heads up a little bit. They're like, oh, I don't
yeah,
anybody want me, and it's like you
they're
about
cheating now.
yeah, like you 10 years away from dying. Why would you do that? So
Yeah,
you
I
don't
remember they
that.
were just appreciative back in the day. Now they cheating. That's crazy. That's crazy, man.
But it might just be the women here in Columbus because almost the majority of the women here in Columbus are fat.
And
So
yeah, and
yeah,
Columbus is the number one city in America for adultery.
it makes sense.
Yeah,
It used to be a family city. It's not that anymore.
I got an email about it.
Wait, for real, adultery?
Yeah,
I
adultery.
would
Yeah,
love to be a cuckold.
yeah, yeah. If you want to be a side nigga, this is the place for you. Columbus, Ohio. Move out here. You got a good zoo, and you can be a great side nigga if you want to.
I feel like cuckolding is the safest way to cheat because they know
Yeah,
that you're cheating. So it's like, if they didn't know that you were cheating, your husband can come in and like shoot all of y'all or whatever.
shoot.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I just rather not deal with that. Everybody knows everyone's in the same room. Let's do what we
Communication
do.
is key. You know what I mean? Communication is key always, man.
It is like I think people in America be cheating like it's like just because there's no laws against cheating, they think, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I can get away with this. But like, no, you're gonna get your lick back. I remember when that thick girl did cheat on me. I had a coworker at the time when I was working at Spectrum, and she missed work for a couple days, and we was like, "Where's she at?" And then someone had told me that she had taken some days off because her brother got shot by their cousin because he was cheating. He was sleeping with the wife. I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
"See, like you
Yeah.
never know. People be getting mad when you play
It's
with
close. It's
their other
close to
kitty
home.
cats." Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Well, we and you have talked plenty of times, and you are a very interesting person. I would say you are a what they call it, a nomad or no rad,
I know.
whatever.
I know, man. Yeah, yeah. When you just bounce around a lot. No.
Yeah, man. You've lived a
Yeah.
very you lived a very interesting life. The thing about it is that by the time you get about 50 haters in Columbus, you'll be gone again. So
Exactly. Yeah. Uh, Nomad. If you would have kept going trying to say nomad, a slur would have came out. I'm pretty sure. At some point, you were trying to figure it out. But yeah, yeah, I've bounced around a lot in my life. When I was 18, that's when I first moved to Salt Lake City, Utah. Speaking of white folks and stuff. But yeah, yeah, and then
that's a porn. I feel like that's a porn category we haven't tapped in. The Utah
hmm
Norman porn. Like that's a
Utah, they're
what
out
made you
there.
what made you start traveling the world? Like that's all you've been. You didn't I don't think you went to college. You just started traveling the world from 18 till now. What made you start traveling the world?
I went to college online, which is not really going to college. You're doing some online classes, but I always when I was 16, I started making music when I was 16, and I made music at the time. I just started making music because I wanted to travel the world. So I was like, I could become a famous rapper and travel the world. But other than that, when I turned 18, I had a friend who I went to high school with. Um, he's Jamaican. He was Jamaican and Chinese. That has nothing to do with the story. I just always thought it was interesting that he was Jamaican and Chinese. But he lived in Utah. We lived together, and then he moved to Utah with his mom, and I went out there. And ended up being out there for a few years, and I just always loved seeing the way other walks of life just lives, and I just thought it'd be good for me just to be able to bounce around and get different tastes of different cultures and things along those lines. So I've lived in probably 5 or 6 different states, and
Where's the
yeah,
base? Where is the best place that you lived?
Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City. I'm a nature person too. I like to camp and hike and do all that kind of shit. So Salt Lake City, Utah is beautiful for that. The mountains and stuff out there. But other than that, like I've lived in typical places like LA and New York, and I'm not really like a person that likes too much busy around them. So yeah, Texas was cool, but yeah.
Where's one place you haven't lived that you it's like, okay, I think I want to live here for a little bit.
I think for similar reasons as Utah, probably Colorado. I heard Colorado is beautiful. I've taken a Amtrak train through Colorado through the canyons and stuff out there, and that's beautiful out there as well. So for the same reasons as Utah, probably Colorado. You know what I mean? You can hike and do all that good shit, and yeah, probably out there, Denver or something, Boulder. You know.
I never asked you this. What was your rap name?
Oh man, when I when I first started making music, it was embarrassing. When I first started making music when I was 16, my first ever rap name was Tyson the Typhoon, and it was horrible. And then I switched it to a much better one after that
Stay
I thought at the
off
time.
the weed.
Facts. And then after that, it wasn't much better when I was 16. So I had a different rap name my first 6 months in, and then I switched it to Swag Martian, which
You done
which
lost your damn mind. When you get your
yeah.
damn mind, you call me.
And then it was Leroy Brown after that because I had a racist yeah, I had a racist white teacher who would call me Leroy Brown after this song. And I went to a suburban school and my mom got a good job, and she would always call me Leroy Brown. And I thought she was just being cool. It's this old song called Bad Leroy Brown, and she would call me that because I was the only black kid in the class. And then and I just ran with it for a little while. So when I live in Utah, when I first moved to Utah when I was 18, I introduced myself to everybody as Leroy. And if I go out there now and talk to the friends and the families that I met then, they'd be like, "What's up, Leroy?" And it don't feel the same anymore. It feels kind of crazy now. Yeah,
Leroy Brown. That's
Leroy Brown. But no, then it was 28 after that. 28 was the final one, and that was the one that was like, sound the best and look the best on paper. TWNTY and the number 8.
Congratulations.
we went. We went. That was a long ass journey.
Yeah. Well, I took you over there. That was probably 3 unneeded minutes right there of rap names. It's all
You're
right.
not your typical uh black man, probably your typical biracial, but you have a
Yeah.
cat. You don't stay at a permanent residence for long. And
Mm-mm.
you don't got a typical 9 to 5. How do you have confidence in who Tyson is when you bring yourself into an environment?
Oh, that's. I think the biggest part of my confidence is literally just staying grounded with myself and not worrying about what anybody else thinks about me. You know what I mean? Like I try not even to pay attention to like positive stuff feels good, but I try to stay in my own bubble at all times. And I've never worried about what anybody has thought about me since I think I get that from my mom. She was always a very outspoken woman. So, when I'm on stage, I'm wearing, the little sweatpants, the shoes, the orthopedic shoes that my toes hang over the top. I'm just all about comfort in every aspect of my life. And that's from what you wear, from what I wear to how I carry myself is just it's just pure comfort all the time. As long as I'm happy, I don't, care what the next person thinks. Yeah.
Do you wear those shoes like on a act for an actual show?
Yeah, I remember. I wear no shoes on shows. If you see me dressed at an open mic, I'll put on pants for shows because I heard that's what you're supposed to do. I guess you know what I mean. That's what somebody told me. It's one of the comedy rules. Don't show people your knees or whatever. But um, so I wear pants. But yeah, how you see me at mics is how I am at shows as well.
I need to get some show Crocs. The Crocs I be
Okay.
wearing, those are super old and dirty. I
Yeah.
mean, I had them for like a year, but I done messed them up. But I need to get some show Crocs. I'm not a fan of like wearing pants. I'll wear shorts. I wear them to open mics. I haven't worn them to a show yet, but that's because my legs aren't as thick as they used to be. If I'm
Yeah.
gonna wear them for a show, I
Yeah.
need them to get back how they used to be.
Yeah. You spend too much time outside in the sun, brother.
Nah. So like my legs always been a problem. My legs are super duper thick no matter what type of jeans I wear.
Yeah.
And how my legs are now, I actually like the size of them because I can actually keep pants longer. Like I used to shave my pants like
Yeah.
within like a month or two just from like my thighs just being so big. So it actually feels good to get in the pants again. But I don't know. I like having thick thighs. My fault. These niggas is riding a dirt bike in this big ass parking lot when they should be at home reading a book. That's what the
Read a
fuck these
book or
little kids should be
something.
doing. But
Yeah.
how did you feel? I don't know why I went on a tangent about my legs, but whatever. How did you
That's all right.
feel?
Yeah, because it's the first thing I thought when I first saw you. When I first started comedy in January, all that time ago. When I saw you, I was like, "This nigga got some immaculate calves." So yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Here we are. Full
I
circle
think
moment for me.
I think my calves look weird. They look unorthodox. I'm like, these are not athletic calves. I don't know what kind of
Yeah,
calves these are, but
I was like, this nigga works out. That's what I thought to myself.
what you've only been doing it for a couple months, but when you go up there, sometimes I get the feel that that you don't practice jokes. It's like you just wrote it. You just all right. I memorize it like that. I'm gonna go up there, boom, bam, clap. But what was that moment when you went up there and you was like, oh no, I can actually like do this? Like, what was that moment? How did you feel?
I think being funny is the only natural talent I've ever had. I think everything else in my life I had to work to get. When I was being a rapper, when I wanted to be an actor and I took all my acting classes, and when I wanted to be a poet and I was writing poetry when I was 12 years old and doing junior competitions, I was like, I had to work hard at everything, but being funny was the only natural talent I've ever had. So I knew I wanted to get into comedy at some point. And when I used to make music when I was 20, when I was 21, 20, when I was rapping, I was doing shows, I would do like jokes up top or in between songs. I would try to say something funny or whatever. And then so now when I started doing comedy, I knew I could do it once I was like, I just need to get comfortable up here because it's a different thing other than music. But I've been performing for the last 20 years of my life. I've been on stages performing for the last 20 years of my life. So it's just, uh, yeah, and being funny. It's the only thing that everybody, it's crazy. When I told people I was going to do comedy, everybody was like, yeah, they were really supportive right away, which kind of pissed me off because nobody was that supportive for my music at all, and I've been
Yeah.
doing that for 15 years. But as soon as I was doing comedy, they were like, yeah, that makes sense. Um, I remember it was February. It was like February of this year, and I went on stage and I sat down for the first time. It was like maybe late January, early February, and I sat down for the first time, and that was the first time I felt like, oh, I'm just this is where I'm supposed to be. I just feel at home doing comedy, so it just made the most sense. And I think that's when it clicked for me. I've always thought I've been like a good writer and stuff, even though I don't physically write anymore. It just like, so yeah, I think like probably late January, early February, I was like, I sat down, I was comfortable on stage, and I was like, oh, I think this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Is this what you want to do for a living?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think, yeah, yeah, it makes. I've always wanted to be an entertainer, and I just didn't when I was younger. I didn't know what that looked like. Now I'm doing comedy. I think this is the best form of art, and I'm an artist at heart. So yeah, this is what I want to do for a living. I'm just, trying to figure out that the business side of it.
So we was in the sixth grade and you played the tree. You was like, you know what? I am an artist. This is my I
I
am a
did play. I did play a tree on stage before when I was like, I think I was like in eighth grade or something. They just had me up there. I was sweating, my legs hurt. I couldn't. My arms. It was terrible, man. But yeah,
Hey, next time they do one of those little character shows, you should definitely go as Will Smith when he was a little sunflower. You should definitely do that. That'd be hilarious.
and just be out there. I'm doing Mima's house on the festival. So I should just like I do this the character I have at hers is like a celebrity impersonator. When you can't afford the real person, you hire me and I just do all kinds of different celebrities. But I should do it sunflower instead. It'd be a
A,
lot
a,
better for me.
a couple months in and you're already in the inaugural Columbus Comedy Festival. How
Yeah.
does that feel? And how many shows are you doing again?
I have two shows on the festival. I'm doing Mima's house, and then I'm doing late night with Eric Basso. So
I
yeah, I
do want
got
to
two
see that
shows.
one. I'm not excited about the host, but I do want to see that
No,
one.
that's gonna be a great show. I've been excited about that show since I got added to it. Um, That's a great lineup. A great lineup with Ty
Are you on the
Moore,
show? Is Shayna on that one too?
Shayna, yeah, Shayna,
Have
Layla,
you guys
Ty
met
Moore,
yet?
and me. Oh yeah, I met Shayna when she
Okay.
came here and did. She had a show at the Attic, I believe. Yeah,
All
so
right. I'm
that's
gonna
when I
text
met
her. I'm
Shayna.
gonna text her and let her know, like, hype you up a little bit more.
Type me,
But go
yeah,
ahead. Yeah. When's your Meemaw show?
that's the day before. I think the 15th is the Memo show. Thursday, like 8:30 p.m. Hashtag comedy company. Yeah, Memo's house, August 15th, I believe, and then the 16th is late night with the Bassos at midnight. I I don't know where the venue is at. I think Mad Lab, maybe. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, I'm excited for the late night show. They got a couple late night shows. I think they got one with all LA comics, New York comics, and then
Mm.
that one. Hold on. Who? Oh, hold on. I'm texting her right now. I can't do two things at once, so I'm gonna tell you what I'm texting. It says, "Yo!" exclamation point. You're on a show with Tyson Colson. I'm gonna put dot dot dot. I don't know what that is actually called, but I'm just gonna put triple dots.
Yeah.
He's pretty funny, and I for can't wait for you to see him live. Hope
Hey,
all is well.
that's why I fuck with you, cause you say you about to do something, or if you don't like somebody, or if you like somebody, you're just there. You know what I mean? You're just there 100%. It's a lot of people who are like wishy washy, and you're just not one of those people, and that's what I appreciate.
I think that happened for me a couple years. Like, I don't know what it was. Maybe my faith had changed, but like, people be like, I'll pray for you or I'll keep you in
Yeah,
my prayers, something like that. And then like I think I would do that. I think I would tell people that and then I would forget. And
yeah,
then like for whatever reason, I was just in a walk with when I was just in this part of my walk with the Lord where I just wasn't like embarrassed to like say that I know him, say that I love him, say
hmm
that I serve him. And then when I would be like, when I would ask people like, you want to pray about it, or I'd be like, you want me to pray about it? And they'd be like, yeah. And then I would just pray right there. And then ever
I
since I
like that.
started doing
Yeah,
that, like I just kind of like if I say I'm gonna do something, like part of it is because I do smoke a lot of weed and I have to do it right then and there or
yeah,
I will forget. But
yeah,
the other part of it is like I'd rather just do it then, and I'd rather just do it then because I told you I was gonna do it. And if I got
yeah,
time to do it, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'll do it later. No, I'll just do it right then and there. Like that's
You've
just
been
me.
religious your whole life.
Um, probably like around. I mean, we went to church, but like my mom wasn't deep in it,
Yeah,
And then like, probably like when I was around 9, we started to go to like a different church,
yeah,
and she started to become more involved in church and her
yeah.
own relationship. But I would say probably around like 16 is when I started to
Okay.
develop my own relationship with Christ. That's
Yeah.
when I got baptized and I was in high school. I was just going through a lot and just kind of continued to build my relationship.
hmm
Definitely, he's what keeps me sane in this crazy world.
Yeah.
If I didn't
That's
know the
why.
Lord,
Yeah.
I would definitely be crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you. 'Cause I know religion is different. It's like a different thing for everybody. I've never really been. I'm a spiritual person in the fact that I believe in the sense that I believe in more. But I've never really since I was a kid been involved with any religion. But I know religion is different for each individual. It's their own personal
Yeah,
thing.
that talk be confusing me. I understand when people say like religion and spirituality, but even when people say like I'm a spiritual person, I think sometimes we get a little too comfortable with that and be like, oh, okay, but like what spirit are you serving? You know what I mean? Like,
That's
because you
real.
might you
Yeah.
might be serving a sun god, and you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying.
That's real.
And then I say, oh, I got me a girl, she's super spiritual. And then I move in, and then you up here got a picture of the sun on the wall, and you bow down to it. You know what I'm saying? So I would even be
Yeah.
careful when people say they spiritual, but I am right now. I feel like right now I'm so unlearning a lot of things about religion and just trying to form. I think everybody has to do this though, like trying to form like what makes sense to me. Try to get my own understanding instead of just this is what the preacher said, so he was right
Yeah.
about it. A lot
Yeah.
of times, like when you go to
That's
church and
real.
you hear people be like, "Amen," or "You preaching right." Sometimes it's because that person that's saying that actually studied and read the
Yeah.
word. You know what I'm saying, or
Yeah.
lived that, and so they know like, "Oh, this
Yeah.
is truth." And I just think growing up, I kind of just took the preacher's word for it just because that was the preacher. And so now I'm just at a part where I'm just trying to learn, okay, like what is it really? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can get a better understanding for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But
right. And
it's definitely a big part of my life for sure. I know, like, probably follow me online, you probably couldn't tell, but it's definitely a
yeah.
part of my life for sure.
Is that why Josh Osani is your writing partner? Did you guys meet in a Bible study or something?
That's not why he's my writing partner. I didn't know he was a believer until like
yeah.
probably till like a couple months after we started getting close.
Yeah.
Um and just having another comic to where I can have those conversations with has been very beneficial to me. Like there'd be like days or stuff where I just be needing somebody to talk to that can understand. And I feel like
Yeah.
even though like I'm pretty much like a decade older than him, it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like it because we can talk on any level. And
Yeah.
that's how I know God is real, because the fact that I got a white friend, that is nothing.
Yeah, when I found out he was your writing partner, I was like, really? You know what I mean? Not that he's not a good comic, he's a good comic, but I was just like, this just don't, match up to
Yeah,
me. But yeah,
yeah,
but
man.
that's beautiful though. Yeah, he told me it was a Sunday, Mike. He was like, yeah, I'm going to Bible study after this, and I thought he was doing a bit on me. I was like, really? And yeah, I'm headed there now. You can come with me if you want to. And I was like, I'm probably. I don't
Mm.
want to set trip in front of the Lord.
So we definitely don't do Bible studies together. So I don't know
Yeah.
who that was with, but
Yeah.
but it is funny seeing him be like one of the only white persons at my church, which is a black church. It
Yeah.
is pretty crazy. He needs
Yeah.
to write more jokes about that. But nah, he's a really good writing. I don't even know how we became writing partners, but he's a really good writing partner. Like that that joke, the David Attenborough joke that I have.
hmm
Like one thing I like about Josh, like you may one person may say like he may not be on my level as far as like writing or whatever or humor, but I would disagree because that David Attenborough joke, like he heard it from the first time I wrote it, where it was just basically a joke about me talking about deers, and I was just like, bro, I
Yeah.
don't like this joke. And I was like, the funniest part and the funnest part of the joke is towards the end. And like he'll be quick to challenge me, be like, well, then write that. Like he'll be like,
Yeah.
no, I don't think this is funny. Like I think you could do better if you do this. Like he's not afraid to challenge me, which I think is good.
That's
Even when
dope.
he sees I'm irritated that he's challenging me,
Yeah.
like he'll be
Yeah.
like, no, I'm still gonna say how I feel.
Yeah.
And that David Attenborough joke wouldn't be that joke if he didn't say no. Okay,
Yeah.
then rewrite this joke. So
That's that here we are joke.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's a great
yeah,
joke. That's a great
yeah,
joke.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
So he
dope.
really helps out a lot with that. I even like go to dinner with his family and shit. It'd be
Yeah.
super like
Oh,
we're
y'all be going to down.
yeah, we
Yeah.
super close. Like he be coming over
That's
my
a
house like once a week, which is weird because I don't be letting. I
that's
live like
fire.
technically in the hood. I don't be letting no white
Yeah.
people come over. It's crazy. Yeah,
Having
I
a white
didn't.
friend though is liberating though. It feels great. I know I'm half white, but it's still, I grew up in the rough, I don't know why I grew up in the hood. I don't know why I say the rough parts of Cleveland. It sounds racist when I say it. I'm not gonna lie. I need to stop saying that. I grew up in rough neighborhoods. It sounds racist. But that's my white side, I think. I grew up in an urban community, but now I grew up in Cleveland. When I moved to Utah, and I got some white friends, or when my mom moved us to Westlake, and I got some white friends. So it's a liberating experience, but it also does provide a new perspective on a lot of things, and I think it's good for overall growth. Get you a white friend is what I'm saying.
To be honest, he actually came. Yeah, our relationship is pretty dope. Like he actually came in my life at a time where I didn't really want to be bothered, which it kind of seems like I don't want to be bothered every day. But like I was
Yeah,
just going through like
yeah,
a bad I was just going through like a bad breakup.
yeah, yeah,
I was just going through a bad breakup, and I don't know, man. I really think the Lord really sent him in my life because like he from the same city my ex is from. And like a lot of people from Detroit, I've never met anybody from Detroit who's mean. Like they're always super duper nice. And
hmm
I just think God was just placing him in my life uh to help me with other things, but definitely to help me like not saying like he's only in my life to help me get over my ex, but to just like not harbor the hate
Yeah.
there because they're pretty much the same person. Like
Yeah.
they're both jolly and nice and all that type of stuff. I just find like that's pretty much everybody from Detroit. But yeah, so I've
Which is not
super
the rap they get. That's not the rap that Detroit people get, being nice and jolly.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. They're all like that. For I've
Yeah.
never met a mean person from Detroit in my life,
That's dope.
to be
Yeah.
honest with you. So yeah,
Huh.
but no, he's super dope. But it's helped me also with comedy too, because like uh I don't trust people, but I definitely be having my eye open with comics because just
Yeah.
people in entertainment in general, like we could be pretty fickle. So
No, that's real. People will. I mean, that's just, I made music for a long time, and that's just, yeah. People will smile in your face and talk shit about you to somebody else. You can't. You got to, be careful with your, whatever people say nowadays with your energy. You got to protect your energy. Whatever. But yeah. That was one of the, when I first saw you, I was like, this nigga's kind of mean. You know what I mean? You didn't, not that you was like saying anything. I was just, you just kind of just standoffish a little bit. And then I remember we were at, I think it was just a mic at Crescent Lounge or something. And then I like made you laugh or something, and I was like, I've made it. I think I've done it in Columbus comedy. I think I'm gonna be all right here, because I just made a little joke about your OnlyFans thing that you say at the end of your sets, and then you laughed, and I was like, yeah, I think I've done it.
hey, that's crazy.
Yeah,
All right, yeah, I feel like a lot of people I just be like, I gotta work on it. I feel like when I be at work, because now I'll be seeing like comedy as like work subconsciously. Like I'll be like
yeah,
so focused. Like when I come in, I'll be like, okay, what jokes are we telling? Then sometimes I'll be like rewriting jokes, and then like I'll be working on like podcast stuff or shows and stuff. So I'll be like in my head a lot, like focus on what I'm doing. So I know I definitely come off as mean, but
no, I
guys,
don't
I
think,
am not mean.
yeah, no, yeah,
I'm a
yeah, yeah.
gentle little soul.
Yeah. No, I don't even think it's anything you gotta work on. I think it's just, it's just what you got going on. You work hard, you always got something, you're thinking about. And yeah, so
Yeah, but
that's how everybody should be.
you definitely want to be friendly though, because like
That's
you could
true.
literally book a gig just talking to somebody
Yeah,
at an open mic, So I
yeah,
definitely want to
that is
give off
true.
that friendly approach. But then again, like people be wanting to talk, and I'll be like,
Oh,
oh, this is not what I came here for.
I hate small talk and shit. Every time somebody starts talking to me, I get rid my anxiety just flares up, and I just don't even, what I mean? I'm trying to look for ways to get out of there. So yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, I'm definitely starting. It was a comic that was talking to me like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, that's when I realized I was like, oh, I don't like small talk, and I don't know
Yeah,
how to
I
get
hate
out of
small
this.
talk. Yeah,
And
I
I'm not
hate
trying to
small
be
talk.
rude because he was already like, oh, I don't want to take up your time. And I was just like, ugh.
That's like it's like that's why I like, it's nice to sell tickets when you have shows, but also I don't want anybody that knows me to ever come to one of my shows ever. Because then after my first show, it was like three people I went to high school with, I haven't talked to in years, popped up to the show. And then after, they just wanted to talk and shit, and I was like, they need me over in the green room. I gotta go, and I just sat back there by myself for 30 minutes until
Yeah.
they left.
I hate when people pop up at shows like like people in high school and shit. I'll be like, dog, I don't even know if this gonna go well. I don't want you to judge.
Yeah, and they don't tell you that they're coming. They just show up.
Yeah, I don't
It's
like that. I remember one
crazy.
time I had a friend from high school. Her mom used to do my hair when I had
Yeah,
dreads, and she popped up one of my shows, and I bombed. I felt like I bombed. I
yeah.
bombed so hard, and I was just like, you know what? Let's never speak of this again. Like, let's never do this
Bombing.
again.
What's the worst bomb that you have that you had?
Worst bomb that I've had was my fault. I'm trying to get this fucking
No,
cord.
yeah, you
Worst bomb that
good.
I've had was you wasn't doing comedy at this time, but it used to be a black mic, a black open mic. I forget her name. I think the owner's name was Shantae or whatever. I don't know. She had a fat ass, fat boy, like you could tell she used to be fat and she lost some weight. It was like one of those booties. I was like, man, I'm coming to
Yeah.
this mic for the
Well,
ass.
we wasn't.
I'm
I was
coming
about
for
to
the
say you
ass.
weren't there for comedy. You know what I mean? You weren't there for just comedy.
Coming for the ass. And it was on a Tuesday too. So it'd be Taco Tuesdays. And
That's
she was
funny.
cool. Like she was hella cool. Like she flirt back with you and everything. Like, yeah, she was hella cool. Her restaurant shut down. I don't know what happened, but I don't give the ass was
Yeah.
assing. So
Yeah.
I went and one night I was and that's how I feel like I got good. That and Shrunken Head. That room is called
Shrunken Head. I know Shrunken
it's
Head.
called On the Bricks or something like that. Something. But yeah, you know, it's a new mic. Everybody come. Then after that, nobody comes. And the white comics, I mean, it was only like one or two, but the white comics was not coming because the black room and they was bombing.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was bombing, but so I was like, all right, I'm gonna just keep going. That's how I got good because I would just bomb all the time. But this one
Yeah.
night, this dude, I was telling a joke. I think I was just freestyling. I was telling a joke about how I didn't like my dad because when I found out what was in bologna, I was like, how could you do this to me? Like, you don't love me like that for real.
Yeah.
And I was like this way, and then like the bar was facing this way, kind of like how the attic is.
Yeah.
So when I said that, he didn't even look at me. He was just like, at least you know your daddy. I was like, nigga, what?
We get heckled through trauma.
I'm like, nigga, what? And then this girl was like, this one girl stuck up for me. I didn't know what to say. This one girl stuck up for me and she was like, that don't mean he was a good dad. I was like, right. That don't mean nothing. Like, what are you talking about, sir?
What are
Like
you
bombing that
talking about?
bad. He said something else, but I forgot. I'll say that was the worst. Or at
Yeah.
least the one that sticks with me the most. Cause I'm like, damn, nigga, I wasn't even
Yeah.
talking to you. Like,
He was upset he didn't have a father figure in his life. He had
bruh,
to get some shit off his chest, you
I
know?
was pissed. He didn't even look at me, dog. I remember him to this
Yeah.
day. He was black as fuck. At least you got it, dad. I was
Yeah,
like, damn,
she got it,
nigga.
man.
You can have a dad and still have trauma. Damn. Like,
Hey, man, yeah. That's why I don't got a dad. I don't got a dad, and it's way worse when you have a bad relationship with a person that's there. Like that seems way worse to me. You
oh
know, it's
yeah.
confusing. It seems
Everybody,
confusing.
like a lot of people don't. I'll be like, yeah, I know my dad. But me and
Yeah.
that nigga ain't cool. Like,
No, that's yeah. My dad wasn't around because he smoked crack and liked to, rob people, and he knew that about himself. He was, I think that's where I got my, my self, just kind of what's that? What word am I even looking for when you know something about yourself? When you know
awareness, discernment.
awareness, self-awareness. Yeah, he has self-awareness. I think that's what I got from him because
I think me and my dad don't get along because he wants me to be a crackhead like him, and I decided not to be.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Because he got 3 kids, and out of the three, two of them has already been crackheads, and he's like, I
Yeah.
just need that last one. I'm
Try
like,
it. Just
nah,
try it one time, brother. One time. Turn your back on the Lord once,
because he be saying slick shit. He be like, you ain't nothing like me, and I was like, nigga, that's a good thing. Like, why is we even saying that? Like, you sound depressed
Like,
or disappointed.
like, sir, this is North Star Cafe. I don't even know why you chose now to tell me this.
I think
That's crazy.
a couple of months ago, me and my dad had like that talk that you always want to have with your parent, where you tell them about yourself. Like me and him had that talk. I think I might have mentioned that to him. Like, bro, you always sound disappointed that I'm not like you. And
Yeah,
that's just
that I'm not
like
like you.
the good thing. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
But I don't like, yeah, me and him, we don't have a good relationship because we don't talk, but like he cool. Like if I see him, I say what's up, bro, and stuff like that. It's
yeah,
just one of those things. He just wasn't really pressed to be a dad. So I'm not
yeah.
about to be pressed to be your son.
Yeah, that's what I feel. My dad, you did your part. You know what I mean. You just didn't pull out, and I appreciate that. So now I'm here, and yeah, but the open mic that some people say you can't bomb at open mics. I've heard that. What you think?
You can't. I look at it differently now. Back then, I looked at it, but I looked at it as a bomb. But you can't. It's just practice. That's why I go up there with my phone.
Yeah,
Like I know, like in between jokes, I'll be like, I don't be saying shit, and I'll be scrolling through my phone looking for the other joke. But it's just
yeah.
practice. Like it's just an open
This
mic.
is what it is. Get your
It
reps
ain't
in.
like you about to, grab a few numbers after this.
Yeah,
Like it's just practice. That's the way I see it.
yeah.
So
That's what it is.
So you just go up there and try new shit. Like if you got a new joke if you got a joke you've been saying for 3 months, maybe you still go up there and you tell that. Yeah, once I change that perspective, so I treat it as a practice. I go to certain mics because I know I can get certain things like Cafe Bourbon. I go because I'm just telling new jokes, like brand new jokes. Fives, I might do the same, like brand new jokes, crowd work, or do older jokes that I need to work on tags, or if I've got a show
Yeah.
and I haven't told this joke in a while, I'll tell it there. And then hashtag is just kind of like, since they give you only 3 minutes now, I kind of just use it for like shorter jokes
Hmm.
or just jokes or longer jokes that may be 2 minutes long or whatever. And then Crescent, I just kind of do like any and everything because it's a good mic, but I just kind of do any and everything there. I just be like, all right, I'm gonna go up there and tell this joke, whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be strategic with my open mics. Like you may see me come out, you may for like 2 months, you may see me come out every month, and then for like after that, you may see me like for 3 months just go to like 3 mics a week. Like in
Yeah.
August, I'm gonna just go to like 3 mics because I don't have as many shows in August, and there's other jokes that I want to start working on and start memorizing that I've been
Yeah.
saying for the past couple months. But so I wanna work on those jokes
Yeah.
and get those memorized so that after August, I can have a hopefully a
Right.
fresh new five.
Yeah. Yeah, mics. When I first came out, I was doing every mic every day, and that got a little overwhelming. It got to the point where I'm just kind of like, if I'm not writing or working on anything, what am I even here for? The last mic I did, I was like, I didn't even want to be up on stage. I don't even know why I signed up, just because I didn't have anything I was necessarily really working on. I tried, but yeah, comedy has, yeah, felt like everybody feel like your coworkers and shit now. When you're in open mics, you see the same people all the time, and yeah, I just don't like. I just try to be, yeah, I try to be very intentional when I'm on stage as well. Just, if I'm at an open mic, it's because I need something I'm want to work on. If I get big laughs at a show from a joke, I probably, unless there's new tags, I won't touch that at mics and shit like that.
Facts. Like I don't who did you say? Oh yeah, if I'm not at open mics, I'm probably writing or working on the podcast.
Yeah,
But yeah, sometimes I don't be wanting to go, or sometimes I don't stay long because I don't be trying to hear everybody's jokes. Like there's just one comic who just tells, like I didn't realize it at first. Like everybody say he funny. I'm not saying that he's not, but all he do is jokes on pedophiles and black people, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
yeah,
Like why? Like what? This is weird.
yeah,
Like
yeah. I know. Yeah,
every joke, and I'm
yeah.
just like, you know
It's just
what? I
like,
don't want to hear that shit.
and for me too, that's like for me too as a writer, because I don't like to speak too much towards comedy at this point because I take it very seriously. I have a lot of respect for the craft, and I don't feel like I've been doing it long enough to give people advice and shit like that. But I've been writing for 20 years, and as a writer, when I hear shit like that, it feels lazy to me. You know what I mean? I'm just like, you're not challenging yourself. Like I'm working on a 3 minute joke right now about pterodactyls, and it's just like you're just not like you gotta think outside the box and just hop out and just try some new shit every now and then. And I don't think a lot of people do that. They know this lane works for me and I get laughs here, so they try to stay in what's comfortable.
Yeah, and some
Um,
jokes I won't tell because like I'll tell them, and I'll be like, man, y'all not ready for this joke. I don't feel like
yeah,
explaining to white people what this means. Like,
yeah,
I got a new joke that is simple. It's only 4 lines. It's about me feeling gay when I use a church fan.
yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
hilarious. But
No, no, I've
white
heard
people
that
not
shit.
gonna
That
get
shit's
that.
hilarious. Yeah.
White people are not gonna get that because they don't. I don't even think they use church fans. You know what I'm
No,
saying? So,
facts. Yeah, no, they
so it's
don't.
like, so I think when you early in, if you go to as many mics as possible, you'll start to learn the audience.
Hmm.
And so like when you a year in, I would definitely say like within that first year, go to as many mics as possible. And then so you can learn the audience. You can be like, oh, it's not me. This joke is funny. It's just that this joke is not for this crowd because they don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I can make it funny and they could get it, but it's like some stuff you do kind of like gotta know about it or like
That's
see it
real.
or something like that. Like, yeah, the motion they may laugh because I'm doing this and it's a church fan, but unless you in a black church and you feel that heat because they don't got no air on
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
everybody's using the church fan and all the church fans, it kind of makes it more funnier because you understand the experience, kind of sort of. So
Yeah, that's
I've been
real.
learning that, like with certain jokes, like don't take it as a L. These dudes, they just don't understand. So now it's okay. These jokes that they don't understand at an open mic, maybe we tell them at a show where we know the audience will get it. And this
Hmm.
might be the only third time you told this joke ever, but you got to
Yeah.
believe in it, you know?
That's what I like. We did a show in that very very conservative white
Oh
room
yeah,
like last week, and I closed with a joke like that I'd never told before, but I was up there and
was
yeah,
this the
it's
basketball joke?
the basketball joke. I never told it, but at the very beginning, I had to tell. I was like, "This is black folks do this." You know what I mean? They, we would just do basketball moves in grocery stores for no reason, wherever. Because sometimes, yeah, you get in front of them crowds and it's just like, they don't know what I'm talking about. You know?
Yeah, man, I be trying to take it to heart because performing at listen, I love white people, but performing in front of all white people, it can kind of get a little annoying because it's like
Yeah,
I gotta work a 9 to 5, I gotta entertain y'all here, and now I gotta come here where I can like breathe and be myself. But then again, I
yeah,
still can't because you don't get what I'm saying. But every
yeah.
white crowd is not like that. But at a point, it's like, okay, I'm getting kind of tired of performing in front of these people because sometimes I feel like you shucking and driving,
Hmm.
or it's like I'm just
Yeah.
up here giving 15 minutes and I know I'm funny, but they don't know what I'm talking about at all. And I don't take it to heart because it'd be some white comics that be up there killing, and I'll just be sitting there like this.
No,
I don't know what you're talking about, but you're doing good though.
yeah, but you doing good. No, that's what my favorite rooms up until this point have been black rooms and gay rooms. I'm not gonna lie, because if you're not funny in those rooms, they gonna make a noise and they gonna tell you. You know what I mean? They'll
Yeah.
let you know. Like it's like you can bomb in front of white folks too, but I also seen white folks in rooms give uncomfortable laughs because it makes them uncomfortable that somebody's bombing. But gay folks, I don't know why I'm talking about white and gay people like there's not white gay people, but they just seem different to me. You know what I mean? It just feels different. But like gay folks and black folks, if you bomb in those rooms, they'll let you know, and they don't. There's no pity. They will just stare at you, and they'll even some of them even make a noise, which is
And
cool.
that's what I want more of. Like Columbus,
Yeah,
like everybody be saying the scene is growing. I'm like, the scene isn't growing. We just got more comedy shows just because comedy is
yeah,
more popular. It's not doesn't mean the scene is growing. Yeah, I feel like to grow the scene, you have to grow the comic because you can have all these shows, but if the comic's still going to be telling the same jokes they've been telling for 2 years now, and there's not
yeah,
nothing has changed with the joke, then the comic didn't grow. So you didn't
yeah,
grow the scene.
yeah.
But I
That's
feel
real.
like if we have a black club or like a room or a show where it's mainly gay people and it's a gay audience, like or an
Yeah.
Asian room where it's mainly Asians, and like that would
Hmm.
help grow the scene and make you a better comic because you can get well versed to be like, okay, how good
Hmm. Go
is
in
this
front of.
joke? Like I know
Yeah,
this joke makes white people laugh, but that's not my target audience. My target audience is just whoever's ready to laugh, and
yeah.
I can't get a good grip on that if it's just white people or or just black people
That's real.
or just people that look like me or understand me, people that know
Yeah,
me, people like friends
yeah,
and family. Like, so I think that's another thing that I have a frustration with that's really my only frustration with the Columbus comedy scene is it's not a comedy city. So you
yeah.
can't really, I don't really, people be like, oh, you funny. And I'll be like, yeah, I'm funny, but I don't know how funny I am because
Until
I
you
don't
do.
really feel like a real comic. The only reason why is because like there's
Hmm.
more open mics than there is live shows here in the city. So it's like,
Yeah,
last year I was averaging like one show a month. Now I'm averaging like one show a week, which is fine, but
yeah.
it's barely in a club. It's barely with people that really want to see comedy. So it's like, all right, I
That's
gotta
true.
I gotta leave to get a grip to see where I'm really at and see where I need to work on the beat. Cause like doing it here, like if you get stuck here and you do it, like yeah, it can boost your ego and you be like, man, I'm the funniest, I'm the best.
Hmm.
But like at the end of the day, I always try to remind myself, man, it's just Columbus. Like, ain't
It's
nobody
Columbus.
checking for
Yeah,
nobody in this city. So I just use this scene in this city as a practice ground. Like,
yeah.
this my college years, and then when I get out, then you can see what I'm really working with. So
Yeah, if
that's
you
what I
can go
just
be
take.
funny in like New York, I want to go to New York and LA. If you can be funny in I know New York for sure. I went to a comedy show one time in New York, and there was this dude doing this joke about golf and tee times and how he's always on time because of tee times are weird or whatever. And the crowd started making fun of him, like you know, out loud, started, yelling at him and heckling him and making fun of him and booing him. And I was like, damn. But now that I'm doing comedy here, it is kind of like, you get into some rooms and they just feel easy. Like like the people just laugh at like whatever, and it doesn't really feel like, it can provide that ego where you're like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
him. But then you get in front of a harder room, and that's why I like doing black rooms and gay rooms, and it's a shout out to the comedian DJ because
Um,
he's put me up there in front of him.
my first time going to LA is what changed me. I used to tell like a lot of black this, white this jokes, which is easy, but
Yeah.
then I was like, I'm kind of getting one noted. But when I went out there and I seen this
Hmm.
dude make a joke about dandruff, I was like, yeah, we're gonna have to
Yeah.
do a little better. So then I
Yeah.
just started like being myself, basically, just thinking of the weird. Me being I wouldn't say that I'm quiet. I just don't like to speak if I don't have to. There's just wasted words and wasting my time.
Hmm.
So I'm very observant, and I would say I'm an observational comic.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, let's just let these thoughts fly. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like the weirdest things that's in my head or the stuff that I see. I definitely like doing comedy in LA and Chicago. You should do Chicago. I think you were really next time I'm going to Chicago in November. If you want to come, you can come.
Yeah.
But I'm also going
Yeah.
to the Ohio State game too. So
I mean, I won't do that part, but I'll go. I definitely go to Chicago with you. You know what I mean? I get a hot dog or something while you over doing that.
I'll
But
be
yeah,
like,
that's no
yeah, bro, he's
problem.
supposed to be out there, but he hurt. So they just put
Yeah,
him
I'm
in the
hurt. Yeah,
stand.
if I ain't messed my knee up, bro, I would have been pro. I would have went pro. That's where I'm at. No,
It's
it's
at a baseball stadium. If it makes you feel better.
a baseball stadium.
Yeah.
That's a little more comfortable. That
You
was
know,
my best sport, was baseball.
I figured.
Yeah, that's when I used to think I was Hispanic though, so that made sense to me. But, but like, yeah, that was my best sport growing up. So it being at a baseball stadium has changed things for me since you said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
As we
But
start to wrap, this up, because I do got a boo boo.
oh
Um,
yeah.
I always end it with like the four same questions. Who is on your Mount Rushmore for comedy?
For comedy. Um, so I think mine's a little different. Obviously, I mean, I got Dave Chappelle up there, 100%. Dave Chappelle. Um, I think for me, George Carlin's on there. I remember growing up as a kid. Um, he was George Carlin was just smart as hell, man. He just made jokes about just politics, and he made serious things funny. Dave Chappelle does as well though, but when Dave Chappelle was coming up, it was definitely jerking off on the bus jokes too. But he's hilarious. I think Bernie Mac is on there for me. Bernie Mac is like there's I think there's people who like there's funny people, and then there's like stand-up comedy is a skill, and I think a lot of people can learn the skill even if they're not that funny. But Bernie Mac is probably, I think, I've never met him as a person or anything, but it seemed like as a person one of the funniest people that did comedy um ever. And then Jerry Seinfeld. For me, Jerry Seinfeld, too black, too white, just like me,
I
just
want to
keep it
say
right down the middle. Yeah. But Jerry Seinfeld, because Jerry Seinfeld is like you said, you like observational humor. And I think I like your material a lot because I feel the same way about myself as I'm like observational comic. And Jerry Seinfeld was like that. He was like, "What? It's never, you don't get." He's like, you don't get in the bus, you get on the bus." And he just always like these jokes, and I was just always, when I was a kid, I just appreciated that because it's so silly and simple, but it stopped provoking and things along those lines. So probably those four right there, those who came to my heart. So that's who got to be. Mount Rushmore is four people, right? I went to
yeah.
Cleveland Public School, baby. I thought it was five for a little while. You know what I mean? I thought it was five of them.
What message or word of encouragement could you give to anybody listening to this right now?
Messages or words of encouragement. Encouragement. It's something we talked about earlier. Is just find a way to be comfortable within yourself. And everything else. everything else will work its way out. I'm not a big encouragement, word person at the same time. You know what I mean? I don't like positivity a lot of times, but that's what I would say. I
Message.
think. Yeah, yeah,
I would concur. So basically,
yeah.
whenever you do have a kid, don't go to daddy for a scraped knee. Don't
Oh, yeah,
just
don't come over here. I'll make fun of you. You know what I mean? I'm like, there's 2 minutes somewhere in here.
tell people why they should listen to comedians in bed.
Why should people listen to Comedians in Bed besides me being on here? I think it's just a very, very great podcast. I've tapped in with multiple podcasts and I've learned things and become a better comic and just also got fresh perspectives on everyday life because of this podcast. You know what I mean? So I think it's the way it's the way you ask questions. It's the questions you receive, but also it's just a nice conversation that you're having with somebody. And I think the best way that I've learned and has become a person is through conversations, and that's exactly what this podcast is. And I think yeah, you're doing a great job with it. So that's why everybody should listen to it.
Tyson, tell people where they can find you at.
Tyson Colson Comedy on Instagram, on TikTok, same thing, on Twitter or X, whatever you're comfortable with saying. Tyson Got Jokes, Tyson Colson Comedy on YouTube as well. Just, Tyson Colson, you'll find me. I'm everywhere.
And if you want to watch next week's live episode, you can do so on my YouTube channel at TYE Comedy. Once again, that's TYE Comedy. We go live every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. But if you miss it, that's okay. You could stream this or listen to this podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you want to see weekly clips, you can do so by go ahead and adding us on Instagram at Comedians in Bed Podcast. Tell them what shows you're going to be on for the festival one more time. We'll put them in the show notes so that you guys can get those tickets to see Tyson. But what days and where are you at again for the festival?
August 15th at 8:30 p.m. at Hashtag Comedy Company. I'm doing Meemaw's house, which is a character-based improv comedy show. It's a lot of fun. And then the day after that, the 16th, August 16th, I'm at, I believe it's Mad Lab with Eric Basso, doing late night with Eric Basso at midnight, which is going to be a very, very fun show.
Check Tyson out for the Columbus Comedy Festival. We want to thank Tyson for joining us again. Everybody else, we will see you guys next week.